Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk Taskmaster Series 16.
Neil takes this very seriously, this show. He is a Taskmaster nerd.
I checked out the first episode last week. Really enjoyed what we were getting into. I've already been warned by many of you that Sam Campbell's a strange beast, worth watching and discussing. He had a strange first episode. Obviously, he won that episode, but I'm not sure he won it intentionally. I can't tell whether he's really trying hard, whether his mind just works in really unique ways, or whether he was just really lucky. So I need more evidence. I need a couple of more episodes under my belt, I think, to get a grasp of what he's all about. I'm getting a better sense of who the other contestants are already. Sue Perkins I already knew pretty well from primarily QI, but a bunch of other panel shows as well. Meeting Julie and Clary for the first time. I feel like I crossed paths with Lucy Beaumont once. Maybe it was like on Would I Lie to You or something like that. But I really like how dry and spiteful Julian seems to be. That's really entertaining. Lucy's way flakier than I anticipated, but someone needs to suck at this game. Every series, there needs to be somebody who's just not suited for the game, and I feel like that's Lucy this series. And then there's Susan, who seems to certainly have her moments of brilliance and competence. I look forward to seeing more of her as well. But my curiosity is especially piqued by Sam, so I look forward to seeing more of him in this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's jump right into it. This is episode 2, series 16, Taskmaster. Okay. Painting on the head of a nail.
I'm on it, you big bad boy. And today you've asked him to bring in the best sign.
Cock Pond, Clapham Common.
Here it is. Ooh.
Okay.
There is a walking tour where you go and look at dirty signs around London, and this is one of my favourites because I'm a child, apparently.
I like Cock Pond.
Thanks.
You can quote me on that. Sue's sign.
I remember that the BBC sold the BBC television studio. I filmed the last pilot in there.
Okay.
On the day that it was shut down. It's like the end of days. They were basically asset stripping the BBC from the inside out. And then Claudia Winkleman said, I'll give you a bunk up. And off we trundled.
I mean, to be honest, Sue, Winkleman's got Petty Thief written all over her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Great British Library. Wow. Piazza Slippery. It sounds like a European spy.
I've brought a pub sign.
Okay.
Whose pub was it?
Ours, mine.
Julian?
Oh, I think you'll like this. It's a sign that I saw in the green room when I was at the Hull Literary Festival.
A highbrow sign.
It's an unpretentious event.
Did you actually steal it? Do you have
No, I couldn't, because the artist wouldn't have known where to eat.
I personally wouldn't want to post it. So it seems really cruel, but I'm going to give Julian 1 point. I genuinely want that BBC sign, so I'm giving that 5 points.
I know what my entry for this one would be, because there's a park in Vancouver that was informally called Dude Chilling Park and is now formally called Dude Chilling Park. And it might be the most stolen sign in the city. I don't know how many they go through in the course of a year, but it's a bunch.
Oh, look at that.
What's the sword and the stone?
You're pretty good.
What did he bring?
What have you brought?
James Bond would never go on a mission without his favourite gadgets.
I've never seen him bringing a tape measure.
You only measure twice.
Measure twice, cut once.
Pull the sword from the stone.
Okay, so clearly there's a trick to it of some sort.
Go on, give me the sword.
This is amazing. I feel like I'm in Dubai.
What about that says Dubai?
Rulers of Dubai will be thrilled. Comparison.
It doesn't come on.
No, it's a magic sword.
Yeah.
So something releases the sword. Well, could it be...
What's in Greg's hands? There's going to be like a magnetic release or
Oh my God,
something.
yes.
Yeah.
Join the Women's Institute. Institute.
That's just plain gibberish.
None of it
No,
makes
no,
sense.
no. Put that clue back up, please. Put it back up.
That won't do anything, will it?
Yeah, you can
Could I
do.
ring the Women's Institute?
Sure, Lucy. I feel like.
Welcome to the messaging.
Oh, God.
Alex, would you point
Okay, there's a
something
Christmas
for me?
cracker. That's what I saw. And then there's a flag.
Which comedian knows how to make their hair smart?
Their hair is smart.
None of them. What? Okay.
Oh. No, I don't recognize.
It's somewhere in Europe. I don't think I can tell you much
Is
more
that
than
Kosovo or something?
Croatia.
Ah, no.
Is it the UK?
Oh, is it like a county map? Oh, that's not cool.
Cornwall. Devon. Devon.
Devon.
Devon.
Devon cream.
W-I-E-C-M-B.
In an eye. I'm just trying to make a word with it.
Whitcomb. Josh Whitcomb. Okay, so there's got to be a portrait of Josh.
Have you had Josh Whitcomb on this?
I'm going to want to go Widdicombe.
IC0MBE.
Whitcomb.
Widdicombe!
What did he do once he had the sword?
He ended up throwing it in a lake.
Oh, it says Whitcomb on top of the not the caravan. What do they call it?
Honestly, I don't know how I got to Whitcomb.
Whitcomb. After 15 minutes, she said, I think these are all clues. Lucy did very badly, 28 minutes. Sue, 33 minutes.
Oh no.
It's a little shoe that says Greg on it.
It's a little foot, yeah.
Which comedian knows how to make...
Oh, because Whitcomb had Greg's name tattooed on his foot.
With diamonds come bears.
Nicely hidden.
Catherine Knollys, 1983. What?
Catherine Ryan. Bob Mortimer. People who have won. Taskmaster.
How am I meant to know that?
Josh is pretty posh.
Rob Beckett. Richard Herring. Is there a champion who's missing from there that has won this show? But that just seems too inside baseball. You have to watch...
You have to watch this. Yeah, Whitcomb.
Alex Horn.
At last.
Sucks. Sorry, don't take that. Edit. Bleep me. Just blow me out. Blow me out. I don't deserve to exist.
Josh Widdicombe.
Oh, it's a word. That's a MBE. Can I have that as some of my letters?
An MBE. Yeah, yes.
Whitcomb?
Stop the clock.
Nice.
Now, that was a drama school performance at the end, the holding aloft of the sword.
It was worth every single penny in 3 years of my life.
Plymouth Argyle Football Club. W. D. Who are all these people in pictures?
That's a good question.
They're all comedians?
Yes.
Well, Adrian Giles isn't.
Oh.
So am I supposed to know his name?
Oh. Dagger to the heart.
He's sort of small and nasally. I've always liked him.
Clearly, Julian.
Widdicombe? That was it. Fancy that coming back to me.
I've stopped the clock.
All right, all right. I'm surprised.
I've always liked his
I
work.
guess I shouldn't be surprised that most contestants haven't watched all of Taskmaster.
We were all quite relieved because it could have got quite awkward.
Did I take any longer than the others?
Julian, 10 minutes and 23.
Wow. That kind of task feels very much like an escape room type task. You know, at least one stage in an escape room.
Welcome.
Okay.
The lab.
I'd be freaking out seeing egg timers going already. Yeah, hurry up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be with Sue.
Hello and how are you today?
It doesn't say anything. Just playing. Or make a cheeky picture on this piece of wood.
Using nails and one continuous piece of wire.
Oh, okay.
If any egg timers stop, you must stare at the camera, shaking your head for 10 seconds.
Oh, no.
Blue one's just run out of standing.
Wait, what?
Do you have to flip it back over? Can you just let them run out? Then you only have to worry about them once.
I mean, we all know what it's going to be.
How many sets of cock and balls are we going to have?
Penis.
Are you drawing with a nail?
What else would you do to make a cheeky picture?
Oh, that's not shaking.
You're letting me down, Sue.
The blue sand has run out again.
The blue's the fast one, clearly.
That's nodding.
I mean, is there? Yes, I was just about to ask.
Well, the sand has now stopped, so yeah, you have to do it again.
Oh,
Absolute piglet, Alex Horn.
I don't want it to be too phallic, so instead of testicles,
don't
I'm
want the
gonna do wings.
balls to be phallic. Okay.
My art teacher would not be impressed with this. Fortunately, he's dead.
What do you think cheeky is?
I think it's when you have your boobs out as you're feeding your dog.
It was going to be a face, and in the end, it became a sperm.
So do you think that's a good picture of a sperm, I suppose?
I do not.
Oh, I'm sorry if I haven't pleased you.
It's more recognisable as a picture.
I think this is a really interesting piece. It just oozes with cheek.
It's so convincing. What's clever is it's kind of cheeky for you to suggest that's cheeky, which I like.
Oh, you're a switched-on guy.
Yeah.
This is how it ended up. On the left.
Yeah, there's the boobs.
Boobs.
Why's hell there?
Well, hell is here.
Shall we move on to a penis with wings?
I'm disgusted with myself. You know, I don't think I've got the wings at all.
This is more recognisable. Here we go.
Cheeky.
Yes, there we go. Stick with the classics.
I hope this is appropriate. A lovely girth.
I wanted to make it aspirational but attainable.
1 point to Lucy. Well done, Lucy.
I'm going to give them both 5 points.
Oh, okay.
5 points to Sam. 1, 2. Have you come across any sort of secret tasks hidden around the house at all?
Should I be looking out for those things?
It's just what I would do.
Okay, so the secret task is a thing this series?
That's just really passive-aggressive. Make mischief.
Make mischief.
Mischief managed.
I'm going to steal things off people.
The first thing that came to my mind was a portcullis. Can I use your phone for a prank call?
Take a seat. Put your blindfold on.
Okay. We're having a seance for the crew. What are those?
It's a man. Simon was in marketing.
Please follow the trail of lollipops. You
Ah,
must unwrap
okay.
and put each lolly in your mouth.
Hello, Lucy. Hello. How is it in heaven?
I think this is dangerous.
It's time to go. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13.
There's no way they didn't feel that.
Oh.
Portcullis.
How wrong I was.
Well, Alex's suffering is important to you. I know
Very
that.
important, and that was my second favourite thing. My favourite thing was you shouting portcullis like a child. Lucy, I think you were hampered by bad actors. They all look bored shitless.
Now it's Susan's attempt, but we're not going to actually see Susan, are we, Susan?
No.
Mischief.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, she's got the SW stamp.
In the toilet?
Yeah, probably lock it.
What are you playing?
Is she messing with other contestants? That's exciting.
Stand up and shout mice. Whenever you see or hear mice, sit down and whisper fish. Whenever you see or hear fish. Your time starts now. What the heck are you doing with that? Mice. Mice.
Oh, this is brilliant. I love it.
Mice. Fish. Mice. Mice. Fish. Mice. Fish.
133 at nice.
Fish. Fish. I reckon I did really well on this one.
Very mischievous.
Yeah.
Love it.
Are you just finding this out now?
This lady's a nut job. That is amazing, but also just like, you know, lock her up.
You never spotted that mice, fish, is an anagram of mischief.
Oh!
Does this go, Wakamba? Time for the big prank. Oh, no! Oh, no! No!
Is that it?
Pretty mischievous stuff.
Is that his own phone?
Did you think it was your phone that went?
Not once.
Not for a second.
Dear Stephen, I think you're great. Please, can I have a signed photo? Thank you, Peter McDonald. Dear Jacob Rees, I think you're great. Please, may I have a signed photo? Best wishes, Peter McDonald.
Who's Peter McDonald?
Mischief.
Why those two men?
I was amused by the idea that they'd write back.
Jacob Rees-Mogg did write back.
Are you joking? He genuinely did write back.
Mm-hmm.
Will you write back to him?
Well, I'll wait for the next full moon.
Who's Peter McDonald? Do I need to know that for the joke?
1 point to you, Sam. 4
Gets
points.
4 points.
Okay, well done, Sue.
The most mischievous was Susan's.
Yeah.
So 5 points to Susan.
Clearly. Clearly. Well done, Susan. That was awesome.
We can.
I wonder if she knew who was going to end up doing it. Or it was just whoever comes next to the house.
Write down one thing you like and one thing you don't like.
Oh. What's the setup here? What's this for? Oh. You have no idea what direction to go into. There's no clues.
Please don't say draw it. Draw your two things at the same time. You must be drawing with both hands and stare at the taskmaster throughout.
Oh.
Your time starts. At the same time, with both your hands.
Both at the same time,
It's impossible.
Julie. Sam,
How are you?
eyes on the prize.
Yes, I see you.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And stop.
Okay.
Are you expecting great works of art?
No.
I really am not.
Oh. Clever design by the production.
Oh, hang on a minute. Is it Jacob Rees-Mogg and Stephen Mulhern? I can't even tell if they're a creature or a plant.
Peas and cauliflower.
Oh, wow. It looks like keys. Like
Parachuting?
meteorites.
Skydiving?
World cinema and negative gearing. But how the hell am I going to score that?
Can we move on to Sue Perkins?
No, I can see they're people. Are they people? That does look a bit like Jacob Rees-Mogg, but it isn't him.
It's Stephen Mulhern and Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Is that the big-boobed woman and the sexy dog again? This one's walking a dog.
No, that's dancing because that's a music sign.
Yes.
And then this is sweaty backs. So that was like the back.
Lucy, I give 2 points to because I recognise that those were peas.
And she's very pleased with the point.
Yeah. Who's next? And the winner, because I guess both of them, is Julian Clary with 5.
Congratulations, Julian Clary. 5 points.
Well played. Well played. So I've heard of Rees-Mogg. I know he's a prominent conservative. I can only assume that Mulhern is he Labour or let me know.
Sue and Susan both have 19 points.
Oh, tiebreak.
They simply had to learn pi to the most decimal places.
3.14159. Did they do this in, was it New Zealand or Australia as a whole task?
3.141592653
39?
89793. The end.
Well done. Well done, Sue.
She is Sue Perkins!
I'm going to have a lot of fun with this series. I mean, I love every series of Taskmaster. There hasn't been one that's
Subscribe now.
disappointed, but this one I can feel is already elevating itself. I get why you guys were so excited for me to dive into this series. There's just the moments of brilliance / absurdity per episode feels like a very high number, higher than usual in this particular series. I mean, based on the first 2 episodes I've seen. A lot of really cool moments in this episode. Off the top of my head, Susan's mischief task, kind of brilliant. Just tying somebody up for 20 minutes, shouting mice and fish. It's lovely. It's just so cool. I'm genuinely curious whether she knew who would be doing the task, or whether it was like, can I just leave a task for whoever comes next? I love the callbacks to. There's a whole task based on Josh Widdicombe, and like, how much fun would it have been designing that task? Just thinking of all the ways you could create clues to get that name across. I love it. I think that's such a fun task to design and just hide all these clues. Really, really cool. Really clever moments by so many people, and like, I really appreciate Julian's tactic for the final task. You know, his mischief was this Mulhern, Rees-Mogg letters. Why not use them as your thing you like and thing you don't like for the immediate next task? Because that stuff is fresh in Greg's mind. It's really thoughtful gameplay, and I appreciate that. And Sue took advantage of the same thing. She didn't have the advantage of having the direct connection with Julian's clues, though. So, I mean, I love it. It's just really clever. I'm beginning to wrap my head around Sam. He's an interesting cat for sure. It's just clear his brain isn't wired typically. I don't know if he's actually neurodivergent or not, but it's clear that he just operates on his own wavelength, and it serves him well, but not necessarily in every task. Yeah, wow. Just, he had the weakest mischief, I would argue. He's becoming sort of the king of the non sequitur, isn't he? For the prize task, he brings in a sign, and he's just really hung up on this idea that Piazza Slippery is some spy code name or something. His response to the sword and the stone task is, I really like weapons. Yeah, he thinks differently, doesn't he? And that's going to lead to, I feel that's going to lead to very high highs and very low lows. And yeah, I think we're going to see the whole gamut of outcomes with Sam over the course of the series. That's my prediction. Really impressed with Susan in particular this episode, primarily because of her mischief task, but she just seemed to be on the ball. I'm a little surprised with the Widdicombe task that it took most people about 30 minutes to do. That feels long to me. I feel like I would have figured that out quicker, but I also feel like I'm a huge fan of the show. I could look at the portraits of all the previous champions and maybe even immediately recognize that Josh's was the missing one. The foot with Greg written on it would have instantly triggered a memory for me of Josh's tattoo. Even like the thing in the mailbox that had the Women's Institute and then the Roman numerals and stuff. I feel like I could have pieced that together to get Widdicombe. I feel like there were so many clues that one of them would have triggered the answer for me relatively quickly. I mean, of course, it's easy to say that from the comfort of my home office instead of, in the moment under the lights with the camera lens facing you. Yeah, but I feel like I could have done that one better than what we saw on the show. But everyone got there in the end. I'm glad everyone knew Josh. It would have been sad if they didn't. And if anyone wasn't, I would have put money on Julian. So, it's glad that he didn't. We didn't get to that embarrassing point where he's just like had no clue who this guy was. And he even found clues that no one else found. Like he went behind the door and saw Josh's waving portrait and that sort of thing. The football club, I can only assume that's Josh's favorite team. That would have done nothing for me. Was it Plymouth Argyle or something like that? But there were enough other clues that I feel like I would have pieced it together. Yeah, I already mentioned for the prize task what sign I would bring in. Yeah, there's a city park in Vancouver called Dude Chilling Park. You can look it up if you want. It's semi-internet famous. And I don't know how often that sign gets stolen, but I feel like it ought to get stolen a lot. And it's just such a weird name for a park. But it's real. The wire and nail art. That's an interesting task. Cheeky. Kind of surprising we didn't get more cock and balls, to be fair, but we didn't. I mean, I appreciate that people were trying to be creative. It's weird. Like in Series 17, I'm seeing these two series out of order for those of you who are like checking this out in 2026 or something. I was so impressed. Do you guys remember the you guys call them dot to dots, I think? The connect the dots out in the big field. I was so impressed with the level of art created by those contestants that I'm really disappointed at the level of art created here, where you actually can see the whole thing. And it's very much the same, isn't it? It's connect the dots. So it's like the nails are the dots and the wire is the connect. And this should be easier. The only complication is the timers, but not a huge complication. It just slows you down a little bit, but you still got 20 minutes to do it. I feel like folks could have done better, but not everyone has a visual mind, I suppose. Lucy is cementing herself in bottom place. Everyone else is having moments of competence, ingenuity, creative inspiration, and I'm just not seeing it from Lucy yet. And based on her comments to Sue in the first episode, I'm worried we're never going to see that. So I feel like she's not going to do well. She certainly hasn't yet. And yet, Series 17, there's no way I would have imagined that Sophie would win an episode, and she pulled one out. So who knows? Stranger things have happened. I really like the setup for the final task of the show. I think if I was in that position with the two art boards on either side and the board in front of you to write the good thing and the bad thing, I might have pieced it together. It wasn't clear just from the camera angles in the moment, as clear as it probably was standing in at those positions. Because when you're faced with a task like write something you like and something that you don't, you know that something else is coming. And Sue was even able to predict what was coming. Please don't make it draw them. But that's exactly what it was. And a little bit of foresight, you can put yourself in a advantageous situation, which is why Sam's two things are so hilarious. World cinema, which to be fair could be drawable. That draw the globe, draw a movie camera or something like that, or a clapper or something that inspires the thought of theater, movies, cinema. Two individual humans. That's a real challenge. You're taking advantage of the freshness, the recency of their names coming up in the previous task just moments ago. But, can you convey... I don't think Greg guessed the names right because the likenesses were stunning. He only guessed the names because the names had just been mentioned. So there's sort of conflicting ideas of gameplay going on there. But ultimately, Julian and Sue made the right choice with that. But then negative gearing, like What? What on earth makes you think that that's a good idea to write down on your whiteboard? In what game scenario is that going to put you in an advantageous situation? I don't know. But it doesn't seem like Sam cares about that. He's such an oddball. I'm so curious about him. Like, is he a stand-up comedian? And if he is, what's his act like? He gives off a bit of there's a bit of Acaster energy there, but there's also like one of my favorite comedians from back like in the 80s and 90s, Stephen Wright, an American comedian, very dry. Look up his stuff if you're interested, but I'm getting a bit of that energy from him, just really odd, weird. Yeah, really tough to put a finger on what Sam's all about, but I'm intrigued and I get why he was the big talking point of Series 16. Yeah, just a really cool series so far. I can't wait for the next one. So stick around for that next week. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified as soon as that episode drops. And until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy. See you soon. Cheers.
Thanks, Neil.